Hi friends, welcome back. Today is Thursday, so I hope you are ready to finish out your school week strong. And so we are going to continue working on our reading language and our math together. So when you get out that packet that we've been working on, today you need to be on a page that looks like this. It has plot at the top, a place for you to write your name, and the title of the story, the beginning, middle, and end. So that should give you a really good hint, reminding you once again about what is the plot of a story. The plot of a story is what is the beginning, the middle, and the end. We also call that sequencing. What happened first? What happened next? What happened last in the story? Good. So a couple of ways that we can talk about that. When we talk about what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end, usually the middle of the story, remember, it kind of looks like a mountain. Like we start kind of low, we go up to a really exciting part, and then we come back down and find a resolution, maybe a solution to a problem or something that got fixed. We're going to talk about problem and solution later on too. But today we're going to just remind ourselves what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end of our story. Okay, go ahead and write your name. Have your pencil ready. Write your name at the top of the page. Remember, anytime you need to pause me, go grab a pencil, get what you need. Make sure you're ready. Okay, next we're going to write the title of our story. The title of our story today is Macca the Alpaca. If you want to pause it so you can see how to write this, goes right in the title, Macca the Alpaca. Okay, you can also see the author. You don't need to write that. His name is Matt Cosgrove. All right, so make sure you have the title of the story. That's all you need to have right now. Once you've heard the story, you'll pause the video and then write what happened at the beginning of the story, what happened at the middle of the story, like the most exciting part, and what happened at the end of the story. The good thing about this is that you can watch this again if you forget. So listen carefully, but if you need to, you could always watch it again. All right, Macca the Alpaca. This guy is called Macca. He's an alpaca. He loves splashing in puddles and gives the best cuddles. Macca's days were carefree, filled with giggles and glee, until drama, a llama. That guy is called Harmer. He's no charmer. He's tall, strong, and woolly, but also a bully. Notice the illustration showing us already what's happening. Poor Macca just got kicked. Harmer was mean, quite the worst you have ever seen. He took Macca's stuff and played very rough. You puny pipsqueak, I'm strong and you're weak. I'm not using very nice words, is he? Macca said, no, you're wrong. I'm surprisingly strong. This pair made a bet and a challenge was set. I hear something exciting about to happen. I'll move this boulder. Harmer pushed with his shoulder. He huffed, puffed, and nudged till it finally budged. When Macca's turn came, he just used his brain. Anybody know what that's called? A lever. Very good. Well, why don't you try to reach up this high? Easily done. Using this, Harmer let out a hiss. Now that llama was fuming, his nasty mind zooming. Okay, let's have a race. Try and keep pace. First to the top is best. Full stop. They took off in a flash and began their mad dash up the steep mountainside, but then the rocks started to slide. Being nimble and light, Macca made it all right. As he leapt to the summit, he saw Harmer plummet. Can anybody think what summit would mean? They're at the summit. You're right, the top of the mountain. And we're seeing who? Harmer fall. Some might call it karma, as that bully of a llama went crash, bang, and splat. And that, my friends, was that. Harmer said, plainly shaken, turns out I was mistaken, for you've proved it's quite clearly size doesn't really matter. Macca went up to the thug and gave him a great big, what do you think? Hug. The end. All right, friends, I want you to try to remember, and if you need to, go back and watch this video again. What happened in the beginning of our story? Just a quick sentence to tell me what happened in the beginning. We have some characters, and they met. The middle was like the most exciting part. And then the end. How did it get resolved? What was the ending to the story? All right, there was a really good lesson in this story too. Did anybody catch that? We're not talking about that today, but I'm just going to say it. Did you hear it? Yeah, he was saying just because you are small, don't count somebody out. Pretty good lesson, right? I love it. Good job. All right, friends, you can pause this right now. We're going to go on to math. So just take a minute, finish up writing your quick little sentences for me about what happened at the beginning, middle, and end of Macca the alpaca, and then catch me in just a second for math. All right, friends, thanks for coming back for math today. All right, you should still have that packet in front of you. It's going to be the page right behind it. Today we are working on mental math. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about change for $1. Once again, we're going to try really hard to do as much of this in our head as we can. Mental math. The reason why is we want to get faster and faster at our adding and subtracting. It's going to help us in so many ways, okay? But once again, if you're somebody who's struggling today, that's okay. We're going to pull out of our back pocket all of those great strategies we know. We can use paper. We can stand these problems up tall. We can use a number line. We can draw a picture. Whatever it is you need to do, I want you to get the right answer. But I would love for you to start trying your best to do as much as you can of this in your head. All right, let's talk about money really quick before we get started. Now, we talked about how money is talking about coins go up to $1 in coins. Once we pass $1 in coins, mostly we start talking about it in, that's right, those paper bills. So we are going to count up to $1 most of the time. And so we want to be able to fluently do that so that we can quickly know how much change somebody should give us. So if we're at the campus store and we see something that costs 85 cents and we know we have $1, we want to make sure that Ms. Melinda gives us our correct change back. So we should kind of be able to think 85, 5 more cents would make 90, 10 more cents would make 100, which is $1, right? And so we know we should get 15 cents back. So things like that we want to be able to do quickly. So we're going to do a couple of these together. Remember again, if you need to do them on paper, that's okay. The purpose is to get the right answer, but we just want to practice doing more and more of these in our head. All right, the first one that we have says $1 minus 75 cents. I love that because we work so hard counting quarters. All right, let's count quarters together. Ready? 25, 50, 75, $1. So quarters we know all stand for how much? 25. And when we count them, all 4 of them make $1. So when we said 25, 50, 75, one more quarter makes $1. So when we have $1 and we take 75 cents away from it, it leaves us with that quarter, which is 25 cents, sorry. So if that doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Remember, I want you to write on your paper $1 or 100. 100 cent is $1. Remember, we talked about that. And you can subtract the 75 from it, and you will also get the same answer for me, okay? All right, let's look at the next one. We have $1. Okay, $1, take away 15 cents. Take away 15 cents. So you can do this two different ways. You could go ahead and take a 10 away right away. So if I have 100, take away a 10, I would be at where? 100, take away 10, that would leave me with 90. Good job. And if I take away 5 more from that, it's like counting back by 5s. That would leave me with 85. Good. All right. If, again, this is tricky for you, that's okay. Some of us, I know, are ready to do this in our head. Some of us need help. So if you're somebody who needs help, we're going to write 100 because 100 cents is $1. And we're just going to take away 15 from it. And you can do this on your paper and transfer your answers for me. Okay, just like we would normally do, we'd always start with the ones. Good. So we have 0, take away 5. Can we do that? No, we can't do that. So we go to our neighbor next door. We want to regroup, but there's nothing there to regroup. So what do we need to do? Go to our neighbor next door. So we're going all the way to the hundreds place, and we always give in groups of 10. I don't even have to think hard about what that number is going to look like. It's a 1 in front of whatever number's here. But I'm not done yet. I really want to get to my 1. So now I need to regroup again. So I'm going to borrow 1 from that 10, make it a 9, and then we always give in groups of 10. So now I have 10 minus 5 is 5, and 9 minus 1 is 8. So my answer would be 85 cents. Okay, whatever way works best for you is fine for me. As long as you get the right answer, I would love for you to practice as best you can to do that in your mind. Yeah, you can erase that, Zach. Go ahead. All right, the next one, number 3, we have $1 minus 35 cents. $1 minus 35 cents. The best way for me to think about this, to do it mentally, is to start taking away those tens quickly. So if I'm at $1 and I take away 1 10, I'm at 90. 2 tens, I'm at 80. 3 tens, I'm at 70. Good. So I'm at 75 cents, but I'm not done because I have another 5 that I need to take away. So I have 70 cents, take away 5 cents from that. It'd be like counting back by 5s. My answer would be, you're right, 65 cents. Again, if that didn't make sense to you, you're not quite following where we're going, you should do what? That's right, stand it up tall. 100 is the same as $1, 100 cents minus 35. Okay, and the same thing. But remember, when you're subtracting across those zeros, be careful that you regroup the right way. All right, we're going to do one more together, and then the rest of these you're going to do on your own. All right, the next one has number 5. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Sorry, number 4. Number 4, we have $1 minus 85 cents. Now, you should see something in your work. We have number 4 says $1 minus 85 cents, and up here we had $1 minus 15 cents left us with 85 cents. This should say something to us. We should hear something that's happening. This sounds a lot like a what? A fact family. You're right. It sounds a lot like a fact family, because if 100 cents minus 15 cents leaves me with 85, then 100 cents minus 85 cents has to leave me with how many? 15. You're right. Remember, if this doesn't make sense to you, I should see you stand this up tall and show me your work. All right, I'm actually going to do one more with you, and then we'll be done for today. The rest you can do on your own. All right, let's look at number 5 together. We have 100 cents, $1 minus 20 cents. So if I see this, I'm taking away tens really quick, right? So I have 100, take away 10 would be 90. Take away another 10 would be 80. Good. And once again, if this is confusing to you, I'm going to show you one more time, make sure everybody understands about subtracting across those zeros. Everybody should be really good at this now, but just in case, make sure that you write those 100 minus 20. In this case, remember, I don't quite have it in frame. There we go. Maybe scoot it up just a little too. There we go. Okay, so we have 0, take away 0 would be 0. Then we have 0, take away 2. Can we do that, friends? No, we can't. So we're going to have to regroup. So we go over, and we're going to make that a 0 because we're borrowing 1 from it. We're giving in groups of 10 every time. 10 minus 2 is 8, which we got earlier, 80 cents. All right, friends. So you're going to do the rest of these on your own. If the mental math part stubs you up, you're not going to stop or get frustrated. You're going to get out your number line. You're going to draw pictures, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're just getting the right answer is the goal. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend. And I will see you again for lessons on Monday. Love you.